In 1917, during World War I, a revolution occurred in Russia named the Bolshevik Revolution. The Bolshevik Revolution refers to the second revolution that occurred in Russia in October 1917, led by Lenin and the Bolshevik Party. The revolution took place on October 25, 1917, and involved Bolshevik troops seizing key locations in the Russian capital of Petrograd from the provisional governments. The Bolshevik Revolution removed the Tsar monarchy and replaced it with an idea based on Karl Marx known as communism. But it wasn't until the final stages of World War II that American people saw a legitimate threat from communism. With former leaders like FDR and Winston Churchill out of power, the leader of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, sought to spread communist influence. And with all the differences between democracy and communism, the Americans were naturally put on edge, paving way for internal concern for communist development. In 1938, the House of Representatives created the House of Un-American Activities Committee, whose jobs were to identify all communists within the U.S. government and any entertainment businesses. Within this committee, people who were accused of being a communist were brought in and questioned for any information they had related to communism. This became infamous with the U.S. Senator Joseph McCarthy, who on February 9, 1950, presented a document which he claimed to have a list of known communists who were currently at that time working in the State Department. The news of the U.S. government already being infiltrated by the communists put the nation into hysteria, leading to the concept of McCarthyism, the practice of making accusations of treason without adequate evidence. But the community were able to identify legitimate spies who were actively searching for secrets from the U.S. Alger Hiss, a State Department and United States official, had been accused of being a Soviet spy. After some fierce investigating by the committee and by Richard Nixon, Alger Hiss was convicted of perjury after films of tape were discovered in a hollowed-out pumpkin in a pumpkin patch in Maryland. In 1951, two Americans, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, were accused for passing on government secrets for the A-bomb. The fear in the United States was so great that the Rosenberg had a questionable trial, as the evidence presented seemed inadequate and inconclusive. But in 1953, the Rosenbergs were executed via the electric chair. But years later, it was revealed that only Julius Rosenberg had been giving away U.S. secrets about the A-bomb. His wife Ethel made no contributions. The fear on communism did not only have an effect on minorities of the population. Every inhabitant of the U.S. could be a carrier of the virus known as Communism-19. This fear led to the new laws being created by the legislation of Congress to combat this virus. The McCarran Internal Security Act was a law enacted over the veto of President Harry Truman. This allowed the federal government to restrict certain civil rights during the times of war or internal security crisis. As an example, protesting in front of federal courthouses were illegal. Participating in communist and fascist groups would make you lose your citizenship. These restrictions soon became accepted among American people, as it was going to save democracy. Although there was a significant change in American life because of the Red Scare, the threat of communism led to a competition which forever changed the world, the space race.